Teebs and KidPhoenix podcast is now partnered with Dubby Energy. Dubby is an energy drink powder that is different from the energy providers of the past, using all natural energy from ripe coffee cherries to provide natural energy with no sugar, no calories, no artificial coloring, and no maltodextrin. Each serving of Dubby contains about 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, but since Dubby's formula is sugar-free, you get energy and focus without those anxious, jittery, or wired feelings. Just mix 1 rounded scoop with 8 ounces of water and you're good to go. Unlike energy in a can, you have the ability to control how much goes in. Want to take it a little easier? Drop in a little less powder. You're in control. Listeners to our podcast can receive 10% off their order by using promo code Teebs at checkout. Try any one of Dubby's 15 unique flavors, including cherry blossom or Japanese soda today, and experience the difference.
Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. The street life used to be on. Straight up hustling till the break of dawn. Taught me how to do wrong right. Everything inside.
Okay, Teebs,
Yeah.
you're very well aware that we both worked at a video store called the Video Library so many decades ago.
I was unaware. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I did not
We
know
only
that
had
happened.
we only had a 2-part alumni association podcast. But anyway, I have seen many movies in my lifetime as a result of working at that video store, none of which was apparently The Princess Bride, which so many people took umbrage with, and they said it was inconceivable that I had watched such a film.
I see what you did there.
So what I decided to do, because I'm also in my film bro era, is that I'm going off and watching things that I maybe not have paid attention to because either I had no interest or I just wasn't the target demo. Again, one of those movies was The Princess Bride. So my friends and I, shout out to the Degenerates, you know who you are, and we got together on Friday night and I watched Princess Bride for the first time in my life. Basically, I said, all right, you want to do this? Okay, cool. As you wish, whatever.
I don't think you understand what a film bro is, first of all, is part of my concern, because Princess Bride is not a film bro-y movie. But sure, you know what? I support people trying new things.
You know, Rob Reiner is about to call in. He might take umbrage to that.
Hey.
Rob Reiner is
Did you-
very insulted.
Did you just go ham on the U section of the Noah Webster's dictionary?
Okay, maybe I did.
How come umbrage is coming out like 4 times already?
I use umbrage all the. I take umbrage with the fact that you think that I don't
Wow.
use the word umbrage. All right, so yes, I saw The Princess Bride for the first time this past Friday night, and I thought it would only be right to do a reaction podcast to the fact that I've seen this again for the first time. Teebs, real quick, let me just ask you this. Have you ever seen the movie?
I have, yes.
You stumbled a little bit.
I have seen it, yes. I, in fact, was not living under a rock.
Okay, that's slightly unnecessary. You're choosing violence today, and that's okay. I asked you to watch The Princess Bride again for homework prior to this podcast. Did you do the homework, or do you have enough knowledge of the film to not have to do the homework?
I was not able to do the homework, unfortunately. I am currently in production on vampires, but I do have enough systemic knowledge of the movie that I think I can get through this pod.
Once again, vampires, the Kickstarter, they made the quota, and
Right, so now I actually have to make a comment.
you actually have to do the work that
It
you were
actually
paid
has
for.
to happen, yeah.
All right, let me just start with some things that I liked about The Princess Bride. Objectively, The Princess Bride is a very enjoyable movie. It's very charming. It is sweet in its tale of I guess lost love, finding lost love, pirates, all kinds of fantasy
And
stuff,
revenge.
and
Yeah.
revenge. We'll get to
Revenge,
Inigo.
giants.
We'll get to Inigo in a second. I gotta say, when the movie was first put on, and Fred Savage and Peter Falk came on the screen, I was like, I turned to some of my degenerate friends. I'm like, did you click the right movie? Are we about to watch The Wizard right now? And
Wow.
no, that's not what happened.
Wow.
That's not what happened.
Wow.
It was, in fact, Princess Bride. I did not
I want to watch The
know.
Wizard now.
I kind of do
I
too,
really
actually.
want-
I kind of do too. That's another podcast.
Is that wait a minute. Was that like the most hype way you could ever announce Super Mario 3?
Mario 3, probably. At the Nintendo World Championships. We're getting off track.
At the Nintendo World Championships? They need to bring that back, honestly. Honestly, I would watch the Nintendo World Championships.
We're getting
like
hilariously
the Mario
off track.
Kart and Smash Brothers. Come on. Mario Kart, Smash Brothers. People trying to speed run Mario games. It would be incredible. But yes, I am getting off track.
There are people that are going to be very upset that we're getting off track here. But in fact, it was The Princess Bride. And again, not in my zeitgeist. I don't feel I was the target demo for this film. So I did not know that it was based off of a William Goldman.
Who do you think the target demo of this movie is? Who is the target demo, in your opinion? That's interesting.
Okay, so in the 1980s, when this movie came out, I kind of want to say, I almost feel like it was for that same demo that was watching like Labyrinth and Dark Crystal and, fairy tale movies. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I wasn't in that target demo. I watched Labyrinth and Dark Crystal, but that was not until like years and years and years later. I've seen Labyrinth, I've seen Dark Crystal, I've seen Willow, I've seen all of those things prior to watching The Princess Bride this past weekend. And we'll get into comparisons later. First thing I wanted to point out with this movie is that it was, again, very charming, solid film, quick, swift. We like crisp movies on this podcast. This movie is a crisp 90 minutes. So I got to appreciate that.
Crisp 90.
Crisp 90. You start, you eat your pizza, and it's pretty much over by the time the pizza's gone.
Perfect.
Easy to follow story. Like you said, there are two main ideas in this movie. There's revenge and there's and finding lost love. Cary Elwes. I was not familiar with his work prior to...
What are you talking about?
Hold on, let me finish my thought. Prior to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I didn't know much about Cary Elwes.
Wrong movie.
Okay, what's a movie that I would have seen that Cary Elwes would have been in?
It is a Robin Hood movie. It is not Prince of Thieves.
I'm sorry, Men in Tights. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Prior to Men in Tights, sorry, I was not familiar with Cary Elwes' work. After watching this, I gotta say, I get it. I understand why he was so beloved by people that love this movie. His portrayal as somebody that just, I don't want to say Prince Charming because that's like trademarked by Disney, but it's kind of what I'm going for here. As Wesley to Buttercup, it made sense. It makes sense why people love that character and that performance.
It does make sense.
And that's not to say that other characters weren't charming as well. Obviously, I loved Inigo Montoya. 100% love that fucking guy. Obviously, I love Andre the Giant. Love that fucking guy. The Billy Crystal, Carol Kane duo towards the middle, towards the end. Like, I was feeling that for the 5 minutes I got that. Great costume work with that Billy Crystal outfit.
Can I just say, just a quick second?
Yeah. Can
we give it up for Carol Kane for a second?
Yes. Can we give... Okay. Let's go to the
Just
florist.
putting in,
Let's go to the florist right now. We'll get a bouquet.
just putting in 4 decades of solid work.
40 years of just doing it, just collecting checks
In
and
there.
making good movies.
Actually, scratch that. 5 decades, because she's in Taxi. 5
She's in
decades
Taxi,
of
right?
Actually, the episodes of Taxi she's on might be from the
They're from the 70s, right?
80s.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Either way, you know what? She was active in the 70s. 5 decades of solid
5 decades
work.
of solid work by Carol Kane. Flowers for you. We're going to the florist. We're getting a nice bouquet. Okay, can we talk about Andre for a second?
Sure.
Going down the rabbit hole, there is a universe where Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Physic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I'll say it's different.
It is different.
I can't. So this movie came out in 87. Conan, the first Conan the Barbarian would have been 86, 85.
Well before this, yes.
So because in the 80s, everybody wanted Arnold. Everybody wanted Arnold in a movie at one point in the 80s. And going down this rabbit hole, the problem was that Arnold had gotten so big prior to 1987 that he just wasn't available for this. So they get Andre the Giant. This is right around the time WrestleMania 3, he was available, and Rob Reiner was like, all right, that makes sense. I'll do that. I don't want to.
Sense.
Is this the quintessential Andre the Giant performance, or is it like a WrestleMania?
No. No, WrestleMania 3 is the quintessential Arnold performance. Andre performance.
Where Hogan body slams him for the first time?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I will say, I don't know if you know this. I got fun facts here. I got fun facts.
I will just really quickly, I will say one thing about Andre the Giant.
Okay.
This is kind of like his Kareem in Airplane moment.
Yes,
or
100%.
his Twins moment where you're like, oh, this guy's funny. This guy has some funny.
And that's the thing. This was the only. All right, I'm probably gonna be 100% wrong on this, but this is the only movie that Andre was in? Correct, or am I wrong?
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna put our feet in our mouths if we try to that statement. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna look this up real quick. I'm gonna check this out on good old fashioned Wikipedia and his acting career. So we got. All right. I'm sorry. In '84, he played Dagoth in Conan the Destroyer.
That's right. I forgot. I was gonna say I thought he was in a Conan movie, but.
And then that was kind of it. There was one Conan movie, there was Princess Bride, and then just WrestleMania, which is enough, which is perfect, which is fine. With Andre comes the whole the danger element that people that don't know wrestling the way that me and Teebs know wrestling. Andre at this time in 87, he was, I don't want to say massively broken down, but you could see it. If you look at older from the early 80s Andre the Giant to around like WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4, he doesn't move as well. He doesn't have he's weak in his limbs. I always forget what the condition was that he had that it was called. I mean,
I can't remember either.
He had congestive heart failure. He had something called acromegaly. That's what he had. And it wreaks havoc on the joints, and when you're 7 foot tall, 500 pounds, like that tends to happen. And it's a shame because it definitely fit. It definitely worked. I don't know if I want to see a Princess Bride movie with Conan the Barbarian in it.
It'd definitely be different, but
because then you also have to remember, you also have to think, like, I get it. Andre the Giant, he wasn't really able to speak some of the lines. Apparently what happened was Andre's lines had to be pre-recorded so that Andre could listen back and understand what the heck his lines were.
Is that because his first language was not English?
Native French, correct. And when you have somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's kind of the same thing, but like we're not in our Arnold is charismatic era yet. That doesn't come until like that doesn't come until like the mid 90s.
Arnold's pretty charismatic right now, I want to say.
In 87, Predator, Commando?
Predator, Running Man. This is like peak
Running
Arnold
Man,
right
okay,
now.
right, okay. That's fine. I agree with that. It's a different kind of charm then, I
Right.
would say, right?
Like Twins is like 3 years away or something.
Is it? Wow. I never remember what the hell year Twins was. I always think it's like 93. But again, I think Andre was perfect for the time and the availability and the fact that he could just like go in, do some stuff for Princess Bride, and then get right back to World Wrestling Federation. Whereas you're dealing with like whoever wants Arnold, be it like MGM or Carol Co. or 20th Century, like whatever. Like you got a body, so use it.
Although this would have been a nice change of pace for Arnold after, but I can understand he's like in his I need to get all this action star money right now era.
Right.
And he's not in his I need to show range era that would happen later.
So can we talk about Mandy Patinkin now?
I mean, I don't know why we were waiting this long.
I don't know why either. Okay. All due respect to Carrie Elwes, Inigo Montoya was my favorite part of this movie. 100%.
Of course he was.
100%. I will do an Inigo Montoya cosplay for Comic-Con next year. I swear to God, that's happening. The fact that his story was all about revenge, but at the same time, like he was kind of like nice and cool about it up until the point where he has to battle Prince Humperdinck.
Mm-hmm.
Not Humperdinck. I'm sorry. Damn it. See, and now I'm like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not familiar, so I have to like pull everything up. Christopher Guest. I'm sorry, Count Rugen. When he has to go up against, that's when you really see like the Palpatine dark side. And, like, again, that scene, like that fight scene was fucking amazing. Also, shout out to Bob Anderson, who did all the sword fighting training for this movie, because it definitely shows. Bob Anderson, noted Olympic fencer. That's right, I did lots of homework for this. Did all of the sword fighting training scenes for Wesley and Inigo and Christopher Guest. Just fantastic sword fighting scenes. The 8-minute Wesley versus Inigo fight, 20 minutes into the film, I watched it the first time. I was like, all right, this is way too long. But then I rewatched it again to get all my thoughts together. I was like, all right, that fight kind of slaps.
Yeah, it's like Anakin and Obi-Wan levels of stuff going on there.
There's a sense of respect.
Exactly.
Okay. All the stuff that I liked about this film. Let's get to the stuff that I didn't really care for.
Here we go.
Unless you want to add some things that you like about the movie that I haven't pointed out.
This is I am avoiding all these flames. You go right for it, my friend.
All right. So I'm in here in the fire swamp by myself. Okay.
That is correct.
Wallace Shawn. Okay, I get it. Vicini is supposed to be this obnoxious, ridiculous character that thinks he's the smartest dude in the room and definitely isn't the smartest dude in the room. Like you could have turned the lever down on that a little bit. Like I don't need you to 13, my man.
Come on. How dare you?
The wine drinking scene.
Yeah, great scene.
Okay. Why was it so great to you? Because maybe I missed something.
Because it's number one. Okay, you have to understand where the Princess Bride is coming from. It's on the one hand, it is being one of these romantic 1950s-esque Errol Flynn adventure tales.
Right.
But is also spoofing the same thing at the same time. So I get why that poison scene is in there, because it's something, it's like a silly thing that would happen.
It's like a silly add-on that you would see in like a ton of other movies.
Right.
That's okay. That's
Not
fair.
not an add-on, but it's kind of spoofing what happens in. All right, so it's like in Temple of Doom when, there's that whole thing of antidote to what? To the poison you just drank, Dr. Joe. Like that, like kind of making fun of like that thing that happened in a lot of those kind of movies and
All right.
serials. That's just like pointing out how ridiculous it is, basically.
Okay, I concede that point. Maybe and I will say, to his credit, Wallace Shawn did play that whole scene, the whole back and forth where just like, I know this, but then I know you know, but then I know you know this, but then I know you know that I know that. Like, he's out there. He's going for it. He's chucking it. He's chucking it from the logo at that point. He's going from half court. He's going for it. And I guess I can appreciate that.
Of course you can. Of course.
Maybe the second time I watched it, I didn't care for that too much. But like the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, this is silly and obnoxious and it fits the character. But the next time I watched it, I was like, all right, this is going on for like a minute or two too long. We need to wrap this up. Somebody drink some poison so we can go to the next scene.
Okay, shout out Wally Shawn for putting in work for 50 years.
50 years of Wallace Shawn. A lot of multiple decade people in this movie.
Also, a lot of Star Trek connections I'm realizing right now.
Wallace Shawn is one.
Carol Kane.
Well, who
that's all
else?
I got so far.
That's all you got so far.
Yeah. I'm sure Mandy Patinkin is in something on Star Trek. I'm like positive.
The Fire Swamp.
Sure.
Okay. I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat for this, and that's, again, these are my reactions.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there with the Fire Swamp. Nicely done.
Fire Swamp, I feel, is maybe like 5 minutes too long. And I get it. They're trying to set the stage and they're trying to put exposition on the fact that Wesley has found Buttercup again. And they just realized that the man in black is the same person that Buttercup has been pining over for all these years before the time of Prince Humperdinck. It was Wesley. It was the As You Wish guy. That's what it was. So when Buttercup, played by Robin Wright, pushes Wesley down the hill and she says, As you wish again. The scene down the hill, I was rolling in my chair laughing because Wesley gets pushed down the hill. And does Robin Wright's character, does she simply just like take careful steps down the hill and tries not to hurt herself? No, she hurls herself, barrels down the hill, barrel roll style. I can appreciate that. But going to the Fire Swamp, I get you're trying to reestablish that connection and that relationship. And maybe it was just the rodents of unusual size fight that I also didn't really like. But again, that's the effects of the time. Like I get that they're like humans in like ridiculously looking animal suits, and that's all you could get. I appreciate it.
Again, not all they could get. They're trying specifically.
They're spoofing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I'm looking at this from the wrong way. Maybe I should look at everything as, hey, this is a spoof on something else, and then grade it accordingly. That being said, if what they're spoofing is stuff like Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal and stuff like that,
they're not spoofing that. He's spoofing Errol Flynn, like high adventure movies like King Arthur and Camelot stuff from like the 40s and 50s, the stuff that Rob Reiner would have watched growing up.
Okay. All right.
Bro, have you looked at Rob? Hold on.
we're just okay. We're back at the florist. We gotta get something. We gotta get something for Rob. We had something for Rob Reiner.
Hold on a second. I got it. This filmography is a little out of control.
All right, okay. Let's just do it. Like directorial only, right?
Director only, right?
Jesus, I'm looking at this now. Holy hell!
Spinal Tap, The Sure Thing, Stand By Me, Princess Bride, Harry Met Sally, Misery, Few Good Men. Okay,
you can just retire after that.
Right, that's fine. Then North, not a great movie, but then American President and Ghost of Mississippi. Like, seriously?
Rob Reiner's just good at what he does. Rob Reiner has an immediate connection with my film broage, thanks to A Few Good Men and The American President. One of the first dramas I ever watched in my life. But to Rob Reiner's credit, Reiner apparently got this film after the producers watched Spinal Tap and were just like, all right, we want that guy for this rendition of this book.
Because they understood that what they were making was kind of a spoof and a send-up, and Spinal Tap is one of the best spoofs of all time. But okay, so they knew that they wanted to walk this line that was kind of like respectful but also a spoof, and I feel like he really walked that line with Spinal Tap.
And he did both. He did both very well, in fact.
Right.
I've seen Spinal Tap many times. I love This Is Spinal Tap.
I mean, yeah, Spinal Tap makes fun of heavy metal music and heavy metal fans, but do you know any heavy metal fans that are like, I fucking hate Spinal Tap? No,
not
they
a
all
one.
Love Spinal
they
Tap.
all love Spinal Tap. All right, the final fight between Wesley and Pumperdink, a little bit anticlimactic, but again, that's because the Inigo versus the Count fight, like that had to be, that's the stake. That's the stake right there. Everything else is just vegetables on the side.
Is that right? Yeah.
I feel that way. Like, I didn't know if Wesley was gonna battle Pumperdink. I didn't really care. I was just like, all right, is Inigo gonna find this Count dude? And then I was just like, oh, Six Fingers. That's the dude that killed your father. Get his ass. Get him. Mm-hmm. As soon as I saw that in the wood scene, and then, okay, another thing. Can we talk about torture in this movie?
Let's talk about it.
Okay. What kind of Guantanamo Bay waterboarding shit was that?
I mean, look, life in medieval times was harsh.
They're just checking, they're just trying things. The torture machine, they're just trying shit out.
Look, they don't have TV, they don't have streaming, they don't have TikTok. This is what they got.
All right, that's fine. I did appreciate the kind of scenes after that where Cary Elwes was kind of like really disoriented. I wonder if his suffering a concussion had anything to do with that.
It's possible. It's a possibility.
I have some casting what ifs.
Let's hear it.
For you here before I go into like my overall verdict of this film. I realize I've gone like almost 30 minutes by myself, but hey, let it not be said that I don't give the people what they want, okay?
Man of the people.
Man of the people. So Danny DeVito apparently was in the running for the Wallace Shawn part.
I could see that, but I think if Danny DeVito's in there, it's a different, I kind of like what Wally brought to the situation.
And I mean, I guess maybe they're just like, all right, we got Rob Reiner, we got Carol Kane. Like, who else from Taxi can we bring in on this?
Right. What's Rob Reiner got to do with Taxi?
I thought didn't he write it or produce it or something?
Not that I know of. I could be wrong about that, but
it just feels like something Rob Reiner would be a part of. Many, many, many women auditioned for Buttercup, including Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, that'd be super weird.
Really? You don't think you can go from Leia to Buttercup on that one?
I think that bringing all that Leia baggage really like muddies the water.
Leia baggage, yeah, the Star Trek baggage. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on though. How did the Harrison Ford to Indiana Jones thing work then?
See, that's different because he's not playing another. Well, I guess he is, but like,
I see what you're saying. Like Carrie Fisher would basically be playing the same kind of role,
right?
Like
right. It's a little bit different when you're playing the princess that perpetually needs to be saved versus playing the heroic dude that's just doing stuff. Like,
That's fair. Uma Thurman also
How
for
old
this
was she?
role.
6?
Uma Thurman was not 6. I need you to stop that right now. Listen, I know we're old. We're not that old. Uma Thurman was born in 1970. She would have been 16, 17
years old.
17.
That's a little bit young. That's a little bit youthful.
Robin Wright wasn't that old. Robin Wright was only 4 years older. Robin Wright was born in 66.
That's an important 4 years, though.
All right, fine. So this movie does not work with Carrie Fisher, in your opinion?
I don't think so.
Is there anybody else that you would have? I'm not subbing out Mandy Patinkin. I'm not doing that. 100%. That just stays. Is it possible we can get somebody better for the Humperdinck part in 1987?
Christopher Guest is really good.
Not Christopher Guest. I'm talking about Sarandon's brother, Chris Sarandon.
He's really good too.
I feel like that's kind of, for me, that's kind of where the weakness of the film was, acting wise. And I'm trying to think who in 1987 would have been a more like this is gonna sound stupid, but I kind of see like Michael Biehn in that movie.
I don't know. I want to say Alan Rickman, but it's because he's in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Rickman would have
is
been,
why I'm saying that.
Rickman probably would have worked. Who else? Who else could we have? Who else could we tap for that?
Because they have to be attractive, but also kind of smarmy. Ted Danson, maybe in 87, but like he's the wrong kind of.
Throw some money at Christopher Lambert, maybe. Like you got Highlander in 86.
Christopher Lambert is it.
Hey Chris, here's a check for $50,000. Just come be in this real quick, because like right off Highlander.
I don't know. Timothy Dalton. What's he
Tim
doing?
Dalton.
Oh no, he's literally James Bond.
Literally James Bond. How about okay, I got a name. I got to look it up though. The villain from License to Kill. What's his name?
Robert Davi? No, it's no good.
Really?
He's too ethnic. This dude has got to be super duper like English.
Wow.
He's a noble English dude. How is he going to be played by a Latino with a skin condition? That doesn't work.
Wow.
Listen, mad respect for Robert Davi for carving out an acting career with a skin condition. That's great work. I'm sorry.
That is outrageous that he had a skin condition.
It's incredible work.
And he had some of the best villain parts I've ever seen, including not a villain, but definitely not somebody you would like. One of the Agent Johnsons from Die Hard.
I think I have it. I think I have the answer to this question.
Okay, because listen, I'm sure that there are pockets of Princess Bride fans that are just like, no, Chris Sarandon was perfect. Don't mess with it. Like we're just trying to give options here. That's all.
Actually, this might be a little too on the nose, especially in the 80s, but I'm going to say William Atherton or...
Atherton does play the asshole very well. Atherton does play the asshole very well if you've ever seen his work in Die Hard and Die Hard 2 and Ghostbusters.
I want to say...
I have one more question as far as like inserting actors into this movie.
Yeah.
Who from the SNL cast in 1987 would you put into this film?
The 87 cast?
The 87 cast.
On that cast.
Okay.
That's between the Ebersol era and like the Dana Carvey era.
Okay, so the SNL...
Lovitz is maybe Lovitz
the main
comes in and plays the Wally Shawn part.
The main cast of Saturday Night Live in 1987 included Dana Carvey, Nora Dunn, Phil Hartman. We can get Phil in here somewhere.
Okay, then 87 is earlier than I think, or later than I think, as far as the life cycle of SNL.
Phil Hartman in the Christopher Sarandon part.
See, I don't think Hartman works there.
But hey, we're just spitballing. We're just saying things. Overall, like I said to start this day, Princess Bride objectively,
or is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. In a vacuum, I'll go with that since I'm stumbling with other larger words. In a vacuum, I enjoyed The Princess Bride. Is it something that I would watch like repeatedly over and over again, like I have with like Ghostbusters or like Die Hard, something like that? Probably not. But if it comes on television, if people are watching it, I'm not gonna like thumb my nose and leave the room.
Well,
I realize that's one hell of a black and white scenario, but
um, if I could go on a brief tangent here.
half of this podcast is you going on tangents. 5 years, you've done 3.5 of tangents.
I just want to say that once again, I was at Vidiots last weekend in beautiful downtown Eagle Rock.
They were not showing The Princess Bride.
They were not showing The Princess Bride, but they were showing another 80s staple. They were showing The Breakfast Club.
Mm.
And now let me just say, as someone who is staunchly and like incredibly entrenched in middle-agedom, let me just say,
Hey, I'm
fuck
there.
them kids.
I'm
them
there
kids,
too.
Fuck them kids. They were out of control.
They were. They deserved detention.
They were fucking out of control.
They deserved
This dude
detention.
brings a flare gun to school. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you
doing, Judd Nelson?
That wasn't even Judd Nelson. That was just Anthony Michael Hall.
What are you doing, Anthony Michael? Anthony Michael Hall, just rabid chaos. Between this, Weird Science, which is another movie we should probably talk about at some point.
Oh, no, we don't need to talk about that. It's fine. No discussion necessary there.
So, with The Princess Bride, I started to think about other movies in the 1980s, maybe in like the same stadium, maybe in the same like ballpark, right? Would I have The Princess Bride over Labyrinth? Absolutely the fuck not. Labyrinth is probably the best of those like 1980s fantasy movies with the special effects that are in there and the incorporation of David Bowie. Like it's hard to find a movie of that style better than Labyrinth with David Bowie, Jennifer Connelly. Like Jim Henson is doing all the stuff, Frank Oz, like you can't do any better than that.
You can't.
I have Princess Bride over The Never-Ending Story simply under the premise that it is far, far less traumatizing.
See, no, the whole point of The Never-Ending Story is trauma.
No,
you have
exactly.
to tell these kids, hey, life sucks, wear a helmet.
No,
they have to get the message.
We cannot do that. I have it over Willow because I feel like Willow is way too long. I can't sit through 2.5 hours of Willow. I could never do it. I still can't do it. I understand that Willow has its place in moviedom. All respect to Warwick Davis and Val Kilmer. I can't do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you there.
I know it's Ron Howard. I know it's George Lucas. Shout out to both of you guys. You took a great swing with this, but like 2 hours of Willow is not something I'm willing to do.
Not gonna do it.
I have it over Legend simply because I haven't watched Legend enough. I've seen it maybe once or twice. I didn't really like it. It was kind of forgettable to me. I know it's one of Tom Cruise's like first acting roles. And listen,
it's got a legendary Tim Curry performance.
I'm never gonna shit on a Tim Curry performance ever. And like just him as Darkness is kind of perfect.
It's got a legendary Jennifer Connelly performance.
Yeah, see, you ride harder for Jennifer Connelly than I do. And that's not Jennifer Connelly, that's Mia Sara.
In Legend?
Mia Sara's Legend. Jennifer Connelly is Labyrinth.
My fault. Yeah,
you're catching all the smoke today. Like, oh man, you're not gonna hear the end of this. The other movie that I thought of with regards to The Princess Bride, movies like it, is The Dark Crystal. That's another one that I'm pretty sure Jim Henson had much to do with. Talk about trauma. Listen, I love The Dark Crystal. Dark Crystal, I will watch over and over again and enjoy it thusly. It's just the never-ending story is a level of trauma that like not even I'm willing to do on a persistent basis. Like I'll watch Labyrinth till the cows come home because I love David Bowie and that soundtrack. I'll watch Dark Crystal over and over again just because I'll eat up anything Jim Henson. But the other three, I'm okay.
So there's some movies missing from this list.
Okay, I was sure I was gonna miss.
Are we talking about? So wait, are we specifically talking about popcorn level, kind of like teen and tween, or PG rated fantasy movies? Okay, then never mind.
I feel like every decade has its like thing. The 80s was like Princess Bride and Dark Crystal and Labyrinth and stuff like that. And then you can let me know what kind of things the 90s had, but then we get to like the Twilight stuff. Like the 90s were weird just because they were trying out so much stuff.
Right.
So it's hard to get really a foothold on what like the 90s really signified. Coming of age movies like Clueless, Boys in the Hood, shit like that.
This is a bigger discussion that we can't really get into right now.
Yeah.
But basically,
if I'm forgetting stuff, if you have any ideas, like shout them out to me now, or I'll just put them on the Facebook socials, or both. Because again, I'm sure I'm forgetting things. Fraggle Rock comes to mind as well, but that's more of like, I don't want to call it like variety, but kind of was. Again, Jim Henson with his grubby mitts all over the 1980s. Not to say that I didn't enjoy that. This is the last thing I wanted to do on The Princess Bride for this conversation. We all know that we are in the reboot era of film and filmmaking. Many, many people, including Cary Elwes, including Rob Reiner, have said, do not touch this film under any circumstances. Watching that movie and seeing what companies are doing with their remakes, specifically Disney, looking at you guys because it's on your streaming service, do not touch this film. This is a film like Labyrinth, like The Dark Crystal, should not be touched under any circumstances whatsoever. I understand that, hey, we want to redo this with like special effects of the time in the 2020s. Unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. It's a cult classic. It is good for a reason. Just don't ruin it. It's fine as is. This is one of these movies that you don't need to touch.
Agreed.
So that's how I'll end. That's how I'll end that segment. I don't know if you have any other final thoughts on this movie.
No, not particularly. I mean, it's a fun movie. It's not one of my favorites. Like, I don't ride as hard for it as some of my fairer skinned friends.
Okay, should we get into this? All right, let's just do this. No, screw it. Let's do it. We got to do it.
I mean, we can, but
when I say we realize that The Princess Bride is for a certain ethnic persuasion, we'll call it. We'll say it that way to be nice. Two African-American dudes grown up in West Philly. Sorry, we were not the target demo for that movie.
We had a very different relationship to whimsy.
Right.
I think a lot of people may have had.
And that's not to say that's a bad thing. Every culture needs its thing. And now that I'm looking back on all these movies like Princess Bride and John Hughes and all like that stuff, I get why that particular ethnic persuasion would enjoy something like this. It wasn't something that was really in my interest level. And that's not to say that it's a bad movie. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I think I would rewatch it again if it was on television, or if like a group of people were just like, hey, we'll watch The Princess Bride. Return of the Princess Bride. You want to watch? Yeah, sure. Why not?
I mean, yeah, but by the same token, there weren't a lot of fair-skinned people watching Dolomite at the time.
That is also not accurate.
Not in the cultural wheelhouse.
So funny story. And I'm gonna put him moderately on blast. I won't say his name, but one of the degenerates at this particular viewing, he is of the opposite ethnic persuasion as us. The next movie night will be New Jack City. And he's never seen New Jack City.
I don't know how that happens. How does that happen?
Again, movies that are not in the environment of certain ethnic groups.
True. Is that
Like, come on. Like, come
that
on.
is specifically how we started this conversation.
Like, come on. What? Like, honestly, Lou Diamond Phillips and La Bamba, when did you see that? I didn't see that until I was in my 20s.
I still don't think I've seen that.
You have to see that.
What?
Oh, wait, of course you've seen La Bamba, Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah, that's the first time. That's how the phrase "what the shit" entered our conversations.
I have no idea.
All right, well, I'll send you that link. You'll understand where I'm coming from.
Mm.
But yes, New Jack City for one of my Caucasian friends is going to be the next movie night, and I'm afraid of what it might do to him. I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll have a more enlightened thought process about how it was to be black in the 90s and like only being perceived in two ways, as a rapper or a criminal.
Or maybe it'll just change his relationship to Color Me Bad. Either way.
Actually, on that note, is New Jack City enough, or do we show him all three movies in the G Money trilogy?
No white people need to be watching the Inkwell, okay?
Okay, so for those of you that
no black people need to be watching the Inkwell either, by the way.
For those that don't know, Teebs, in one of the great things that he's done in life. There's many things, but one of these things is creating something that he likes to call the G Money trilogy.
That's right.
It's 3 movies with Alan Payne. And what 3 movies are those? New Jack City is 1.
New Jack City is 1.
Jason's Lyric.
Hold on.
It wasn't C4, was it?
It was not.
So it's Rooftops, Cookie, New Jack City, CB4, Jason's Lyric, The Walking Dead. It definitely wasn't Vampire in Brooklyn, that's for sure. Or maybe it was Vampire in Brooklyn. Whatever. We'll figure this out.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
So 3 movies with Alan Payne. It's New Jack City, Jason's Lyric, and Vampire in Brooklyn. I don't remember the origin for him calling it the G Money trilogy, but it is in fact the G Money trilogy for now and in perpetuity.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get everybody acquainted with that at some point. In the meantime, Teebs, real quick, Comic-Con registry was this past weekend.
Yeah.
I know something that we don't necessarily have to deal with, quote unquote, because we always like to try to get a panel at San Diego Comic-Con and then attend the show that way. But hopefully either that'll happen or, or, maybe because you have this new vampire book out, which I invite you to plug right now, maybe you'll get a booth or a table or something at Artist Alley this next summer.
The book is not out yet, but I am working feverishly to get that
completed
by the end of the year.
So what you're saying is that vampire would be a great stocking stuffer.
Yes, I guess I am saying that.
We'll of course put the links in the description when that book becomes available. In the meantime, follow, subscribe to the podcast. We're on all social media: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. Full episodes on YouTube and clips also on YouTube Shorts. And yeah, that's it. That's the podcast. I enjoy watching The Princess Bride. I would watch it again with friends or total strangers. I don't think I'm qualified to introduce people to the movie, but that's not to say that I won't, hey, maybe we can watch this. Expand your horizons, people. I'm expanding mine. Go out, see some things that you haven't seen or maybe you missed when you were a kid. Just enjoy it. Enjoy filmmaking. That's all I have to say after that.
Very well said.
All right, we're getting out of here. Talk to everybody next week. Deuces, y'all.
Deuces.
And weeks turn to years.